Tomorrow morning on Tuesday, four financial heavyweights report earnings: Goldman Sachs, Citigroup, Bank of America, and JP Morgan. The number to watch isn't just earnings per share or revenue. It's investment, banking fees, trading revenue, loan growth, and what CEOs say about the economy heading into the second half of the year. These banks are often the first real read on corporate America, and just looking at things like strong trading desks could offset slower lending, but while better than expected guidance could reinforce the market's record highs. But if credit quality weakens or consumer spending starts rolling over, investors may just rethink how strong this economy really is. Tuesday morning, we'll find out whether Wall Street's biggest banks are still leading the rally, or maybe they're sending a warning sign that things are starting to change. So, Jermal, we've got a decision to make. Do we think we are bullish, bearish, or neutral on the banks with these reports?
I am, it's hard to say, but I don't want to say I'm bearish. Shall I say I am looking to see if they fall so that I can sell some puts is really what I would like to do as far as a trader.
Yeah.
I like the idea of what you said, how this is sort of the harbinger of what's going to come in the economy next. I mean, we're at an inflection point. I mean, we got oil rising once again. That was the main catalyst for why inflation was higher. We got inflation numbers this week, by the way, probably just prior to all these banks starting to go. And so this is an interesting time to see how this is going to affect the economy, how this is going to affect the banks, lending, et cetera, consumer spending, all these type of things. So, I always look at the banks as more of, be honest with you, it depends on the bank. Sometimes Goldman, sometimes JP Morgan, I'll trade, but I look at most of them as less as a trading opportunity and more of how I want to look at the rest of the market and what's gonna change, especially when it comes to rates.
Yeah, I think that's spot on. And all of these are near highs, like really.
Yeah.
Goldman Sachs, at least annual highs, I should say.
Yeah.
Goldman Sachs is a few points off. JP Morgan is a few points off. Bank of America, same story. Citigroup. So it has been real. Like the banks have ripped higher quietly. Like we haven't really talked about them all that much. They've just been silently been a leading sector in the S&P 500. So I think what's really interesting is you have kind of mixed signals in the market right now. You do have volatility still low. I mean, it's creeping up a little bit right now, but I mean, you still have a point of contango between all these contracts, which tells me any dip we're seeing, I want to buy it. Which is why I was actually just filled on that SPX trade, but
I got filled too.
Love it. Yeah, I think the tricky things with these earnings numbers, or for these banks specifically, is that they all have really low implied volatility relative to other products like Micron or Nvidia or Tesla. All of these have, I want to say, 5% or less in terms of the implied move of the stock price for the week. So looking at Citigroup, you've got $6 on a $140 stock. Bank of America, less than $2 on a $60 stock. Citigroup, we just looked at. JP Morgan, $11 on a $300. That's 3%. That's really low. So I think from a premium selling standpoint, to your point, I would rather wait to see if it drops and then sell a put in the monthly cycle versus trying to sell something and then have the binary risk of the earnings announcement. But on the flip side, if you do have a directional assumption, this is an interesting time if you were looking for like a diagonal spread or calendar spread, or even like a zebra, short-term zebra, because the implied volatility being 46% in the weekly cycle is very low, when normally you'll see upwards of 100% for most products that are reporting earnings.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. Before I even get to that, just a public service announcement on the SPX trade that we did. Seeing Mike's go through and get filled reminded me I did not have it on 24 hours because I just did it so quick. So always remember in the pre-market, change it.
Yeah.
Change your order to 24 hours when it comes to your trade session.
Yeah.
24 hours on the order. Yeah, it's a good point. I don't have a directional assumption. I honestly am looking to see if these fade because I'd like to sell puts at some point in time. But you could do diagonals. They're actually kind of cheap. I'm just looking at the 11-day versus 4-day. If you just did like the 340 versus the 350 in JP Morgan, that's $4. That's really cheap, actually. I mean, most of the time we do these things and they're right around fair value, which would be half the width of the difference between those two. So it would be like $5 and change. This one is actually pretty darn cheap.
Yeah.
If you just look at the 340 versus 350. So you could do that. I don't really have a strong directional lean though. Like a lot of times, those who followed us, they know we do a lot of calendar spreads, right? Further upside. That's on tech names. That's the names you expect to explode to the upside. I don't know if I feel that with these. I honestly feel, and I'd love to be proven wrong. I honestly feel like these are going to fade some or move around a bit. I just don't feel like they're going to make a big move one way or the other. I'd love to be wrong. And as soon as I'm wrong in the first one, then I'll try to play the same way on the next one. But that's the nice thing about them. They are kind of they do move together as a group. And so if one of them blows it out on earnings, the rest are probably going to blow it out on earnings as well.
Yeah, I think to that point, I think looking at if you wanted to kind of stay put and not do anything, you could look at these earnings reports, see what the aggregate is, if they're all moving in the same direction, because you do have PNC and Morgan Stanley reporting tomorrow, or on Wednesday, I should say. So you could get a little precursor, and then if there's a strong directional assumption, these would move too. Like you'll get a sympathy move on for PNC and Morgan Stanley, but still an interesting thought if you wanted to stick on the sidelines for these ones and then look at PNC and Morgan Stanley. But yeah, just looking at JP Morgan, because this is one of the most liquid ones. We've got in the 4-day cycle, we're trading at 335 right now. So if we go down to 330 and up to 340, there's actually call skew in these products. And that's pretty apparent regardless of which strike you're looking at. We're kind of in between the 330 and the 332.5 in terms of equidistant, but certainly call skew to the upside here in the 4-day cycle, which is interesting.
Yeah, it is. So I think, which one is first? Is it JP Morgan is first or Goldman is first?
Yeah, they're all tomorrow morning. I don't know the exact
wow, that's unusual.
timing.
We always don't usually have that all in the same morning. Wow.
Yeah, so Goldman Sachs, Citigroup, Bank of America, and JP Morgan and Wells Fargo are all tomorrow before the open. And then you've got PNC and Morgan Stanley on Wednesday.
You could do a bunch of different things there. You could play PNC and Morgan Stanley however you want, whether you want to play to the upside or play to the downside. You could play those instead of playing the ones that actually have earnings. That way you have the free look, as they say, on earnings. However you want to do it. You don't have to worry about the vol crush in PNC and Morgan Stanley. You can just play those straight up. Or you could go straight to the ones that have earnings. But in this case, I'm gonna watch and see what happens here.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I think what I'll do for the people, just so that we can see how these things are moving, and this debit is really cheap. Like to have both of these calendars on, it's less than
it's crazy
less than $2.
Yeah.
So I think what I'll do is I'll look at that. So I'll look at throwing this on the open, see what the pricing is, and see if we can get filled for less than $2 to have both of these calendars on. Because if we kick this to 7:15, which is Wednesday, and if we just kick this to expiration 17th, and then crush this implied volatility in the 11-day by, let's say, 7 percentage points, I don't think we'll see the 11-day go lower than 20%. So you could be looking at a doubling of debit paid. If you get a move anywhere between the current price and all the way up to like 355, you have this window of about 150 to $200 in profit. So I think I'll do that. And if there's a sell-off, I'll just buy back the short calls. That'll be worthless. And I'll just have these 2 long calls leading into next week.
And maybe I'll just play Morgan Stanley and PNC just cause, for the next day. I think that's what I'll do.